Rabotai, this coming Shabbos is Rosh Chodesh. We're going to read two Parshiot. We're going to read Parashat Matot and Parashat Masei. Two Parshiot. Parashat Matot, Masei. And Sefer Dvarim, that it's next week, okay? That's come always before Tisha B'Av. So Be'ezrat Hashem, na'aseh v'natzliach, v'Hashem alenu berachamav yarviach. But first, I would like to dedicate the shiur in the soul of Esther Kaden, Bat Ketia, Mordechai, Ben Rahma, Tamar, Bat Zeava, Farha, Bat Shalha, Malka Regina, Bat Joya, Yaakov Solomon, Ben Farha, Yafa, Bat Kalman, Nahum Ze'ev, Ben Israel, Shmuel, Ben Dodo, Eliyahu, Ben Farha, Nishmatam tiyeh shvura b'tzur ha'im. I also would like to dedicate the shiur in help of Lior Bat Miriam, Menashe Naji Ben Farha, Rav Moshe Ben Bayabatia, Rav Moshe Ben Devo, Rav Shlomo Yehuda Ben Dalia, Rav Yitzhak Ben Yamna, Rav Avraham Ben Marina, Rav Shimon Zion Ben Hana, Dvora Bat Esther, Sheina Keila Bat Hana, Mordechai David Ben Leah, Yehuda Hillel Ben Shulamit Leah, Haim Nahum Ben Pesa Reza Kohen, Yehuda Ben Eliezer Meir Ben Yehuda, Gavriel Ben Haya Sheina Leah, Pesach Yitzhak Ben Ela, Ayala Eden Bat Rivka, Tzvi Ben Hava, Malka Regina Bat Joya, Malka Bat Rachel, Yaakov, Yael Bat Dorit, Hava Bat Sarah Gito, Orna Bluma Bat Miriam. Please God, רפואה שלמה to all of them, ולכל חולי עמו ישראל, בכל מקום שהם, לכל חולי ופצועי עמו ישראל. ערב טוב, Mark. Thank you for joining us. Who else with us? Let's look who else joining us. Okay, so we have our friend Jeffrey. We have Gabriel, Erev Tov, Dr. Britz. We have Mark with us, Erev Tov. Hilton with us, Erev Tov. We have Lonsi with us also, Erev Tov, everyone. רבותיי, פרשת מטות מסעי. וידבר משה אל ראשי המטות לבני ישראל לאמור. זה הדבר אשר ציווה אדוני. בכבוד.
Moshe spoke to the heads of the tribes of the children of Israel, saying, "This is the thing that Hashem has commanded."
Okay, this is the thing Asher the Almighty command. We have to understand what's happening. Akadosh Baruch Hu, like Jeffrey read for us so beautifully, it said that Moshe Rabbeinu speaking to the head of the tribes of Israel. What it means? Moshe Rabbeinu spoke to the head of the tribe. Let's see what Rashi Akadosh tried to tell us. Rashi Akadosh, Rabbi Shlomo Yitzhaki, he born in a city of Troa. Troa is the north of France. He born 985 years ago. Look what he said. חלת כבוד לנשיאים ללמדם תחילה, ואחר כך לכל בני ישראל. What does it mean? Rashi HaKadosh say, and a pshat of the dvarim, that Moshe Rabbeinu here show a tribute, okay, to the head of the tribe, to the leader of Israel, and he spoke to them first, okay? What does it mean he spoke to them first and then to the rest of Israel? What does it mean? Tribute? What is it exactly? Rabotai, I would like to explain something very important. The Mefarshim explained that Moshe Rabbeinu first spoke to Aharon individually. Then he spoke to his kids individually. Then he speak to the elderly and the head of the tribe. Then Moshe Rabbeinu spoke to the rest of the children of Israel. What's the Hidush here? We have to understand what's happening here. Why did Moshe Rabbeinu done it? Why did Moshe Rabbeinu spoke first to the children of Israel by themselves, to the Aaron HaKohen by himself? Then he spoke to his kids. Then he spoke to the elderly and the head of the tribe. And only in the end, he speaks to the children of Israel. We have to understand what's happening here. And by Ezrat Hashem, I found an answer to it. The answer to it comes from Rabbi Vadiel Tzarfati. His name is Rabbi Vadiel Tzarfati. They also call him the Senior. His nickname, they used to call him the Senior. Where is Rabbi Vadiel Tzarfati born? Rabbi Vadiel Tzarfati born, first of all, 480 years ago. He born in Fez. Fez is a city in Morocco. He wrote a book called Tzufat Vash. Okay? And in his book, he explained something extraordinary. He explained you have to understand why Moshe Rabbeinu spoke to each member of the children of Israel individually. To Aaron alone, to the children of Aaron alone, to the elderly, to the president, and then to the rest of Israel. He said there is a secret here, said the senior. He explained like this. He said that Moshe Rabbeinu, you think that he sat and chat with them? No, Moshe Rabbeinu didn't have time. He spoke to them divrei Torah. What does it mean he spoke to them divrei Torah? Moshe Rabbeinu revealed to the children of Israel Torah. So he said like this. He said when he spoke to Aaron HaKohen, he speak to him on the depths of the Torah, the mystical part, the secret of the Torah. He explained to Aaron. When it's come to the children of Aaron HaKohen, he explained to them in a lower level. Why? Because they wasn't in the level of Aaron HaKohen. When he spoke to the head of the tribe, when he spoke to the elderly that have less, okay, level of understanding of the mystical, he explained to him in a different level. And only in the end, he spoke to the children of Israel, and he explained to them the Torah on the Pshat of the Dvarim. He explained to them the mitzvot on the Pshat of the Dvarim. He said, that's what it says, Veidaber Moshe el Rashi Matot, to the leaders. What it means, the leaders? All the leaders of Israel, say Rabbi Vadiel Tzarfati. Each one spoke according to his level, so he will understand what he's talking about. Rabot, said Hatam Sofer. Hatam Sofer is Rabbi Moshe Sofer. He born in the city of Frankfurt. He born in Germany. He born 262 years ago. And he said like this. He said that here we're learning something very important. You know why Moshe Rabbeinu done it? I'll tell you. To show the children of Israel that they have to listen today and to obey, okay, to the leader of the children of Israel. Why? To teach you that when people, that they leaders, and they're in a different level, it's like a Kadosh Baruch Hu speaking to you. You have to listen to them exactly like the Almighty speaking to you. He said, from here we learn something very important. He said that Moshe Rabbeinu here show an attribute, okay? What? That he spoke to the leaders first, that the children of Israel later on will respect and honor them and listen to them. He said, that's the Hidushim. So from here we learn three different Hidushim. Why did Moshe Rabbeinu spoke to the leader of the children of Israel? Let's go to verse 3. And in verse 3, the Torah tells us something very interesting. And Be'ezrat Hashem will try to explain that and what's hiding behind it. Look what it said. Ish kidor neder la'Adonai, o ishava shvu'a, le'esor isar al nafsho, lo yachel devaro, kechol hayotze mipiv ya'aseh.
If a man will take a vow to Hashem or swear an oath to establish a prohibition upon himself, he shall not desecrate his word, according to whatever comes from his mouth shall he do.
He shall not desecrate what's coming out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Rabotai, that's the key pin here. On the Pshat of the Dvarim, the Torah tells us that if a person took a vow, an oath, he's obligated to fulfill it. But sometimes a person says something and he doesn't even realize that it's an oath, that he took an oath. A person promises his friend to do something and he doesn't do it, he desecrates his words. He doesn't fulfill the oath. And I would like to start with the Gemara, Rabotai, in Masechet Ketubot. The Gemara in Masechet Ketubot, in page Ayin Zayin Amud Bet, 77, folio 2. There's a very interesting story that the Gemara speak about Rabbi Yeshua ben Levy. Rabbi Yeshua ben Levy, the Gemara tell us something very interesting about it. And from here, we will understand what it means not to desecrate. A person doesn't desecrate his words. And we see how important it is. The Gemara tells us that Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi met with who? Not less than the angel of death. He came to him. He said to him, would you like me to show you Gan Eden? The angel of death saying to Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi said, of course, sure. He said, okay, come with me. He said, no. I don't trust you. Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi saying to the angel of death, I don't trust you. He said, what's now? He said, you kill with your sword, I know. He said, yes. He said, give me a sword. I don't trust you. He said, okay, I'll give you your sword. Take my sword. Let's go together. They're going to Gan Eden. He showed him a big wall. He put them up on the top of the wall, and they're looking at Gan Eden. Before the angel of death have a chance to do, what's happened? Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi jumped to Gan Eden with a full body. He's one of those that in the Gan Eden with a full body. There's 10 of them. The angel of death didn't understand what's happened at the beginning. Then he said, whoa, come out. He said, no, I'm not coming out. He said, come out. He said, I'm not coming out. The angel of death doesn't have a permission to go to Gan Eden. So he called a meeting with all the angels and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He said, you see this guy? I show him Gan Eden, and the next thing he jumps, he doesn't listen, he doesn't obey. Say HaKadosh Baruch Hu to all the angels, I want you to check the history of Yeshua ben Levi. Look, if he ever promised from the day that he born until today, if he promised something and he desecrates his words, if he desecrates his words, take him out of Gan Eden. If he didn't desecrate his word, keep him there. That's his wish. They check in the history, they press rewind, and quickly they check up. Nothing. He never desecrated his word. So, Kadosh Baruch Hu said to him, you can stay there. Now the angel of death have a different complaint. What about my sword? I want my sword. You took my sword. I'm going to kill people, the Gemara said. So he done with the deal, and he give him back the sword, not to scare people. Okay? Why am I telling you this story? What are we learning from here? That's one thing that we have to understand. So as I'll explain, why did they accept it and they granted the wish of Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi? Said the Maharchum. Who was the Maharchum? Maharchum was the main student of Rabbeinu Ari HaKadosh. The Maharchum born in Tzfat 480 years ago. Tzfat is in Eretz Israel. He wrote a book, Etz Da'at HaTov. Okay? And he explained like this. You know what it's mean, Lo Yahel Devaro, doesn't desecrate his words? He said when a person talk, when a person promise someone, he keep his words. He say that it's come to teach you, the Torah tell you, when a person keep his words, even that he speak not only divrei Torah, he promise his friends he'll help him, he'll do favor to someone, and he keep that words. Listen to that. Hakadosh Baruch Hu fulfill his wishes. Why? Because the same like he didn't desecrate his words, Hakadosh Baruch Hu can't desecrate the person that doesn't desecrate his words. A person that stick to his word, that he keep what he say, he promise, and he do. Hakadosh Baruch Hu said, I can't do anything against that. Why? Because the same like with Rabbi Yeshua ben Levy, you doesn't desecrate your words. Hakadosh Baruch Hu say, I can't. I have to help you. I have to fulfill your wish. What are we learning from him, Rabotai? Said the Mefarshim something very important. If a person doesn't desecrate his word become holy. That means whatever he wish, HaKadosh Baruch Hu grant. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. That's what it means, V'lo yachel devaro. I would like to move on, Rabotai, to chapter 31, because it's two parshiot and we don't have a lot of time. So I'm going to go to chapter 31, verse 14. And in there, we see something very interesting. We see that Moshe Rabbeinu got angry. And it's like this, ויקצוף משה על פקודי החיל, שרי האלפים ושרי המאות, הבאים מצווה המלחמה.
Moses was angry with the commanders of the army, the officers of the thousands, and the officers of the hundreds, who came from the legion of the battle.
What's happening? We have to explain. First of all, Moshe Rabbeinu got cross, angry. Why Moshe Rabbeinu got angry? Moshe Rabbeinu got angry with the 12,000 soldiers that he sent to fight against the Midianite. Why? That they didn't kill the little girl. Said the Mefarshim, whoa, what's happened here? What's happened here? Why did you bring the woman? Okay? Say, Rabbi Mordechai Kohen. Rabbi Mordechai Kohen wrote a book that's called Sfat Kohen. He lived in the 16th century in Sfat. He was one of the students of Marana Bet Yosef, Rabbi Yosef Karo. And in his book, he explained that if you look carefully, if Moshe Rabbeinu would look carefully, he will find out that it was unnecessary to get cross. That means he will understand why those 12,000 brought those little girls to the camp. What was the Hiddush? Say Rabbi Mordechai Kohen. When those 12,000, after they finished the war with Midian and etc., they brought, you know how many little girls underneath the age of 12, underneath the age of 3 they brought? 32,000 girls underneath the age of 3. What was the Hiddush? Say Rabbi Mordechai Kohen, they brought him to the camp of Israel to show them and to sanctify the name of the Almighty. He said, look, we was 12,000 men gone to against 5 kings, a nation of Midian and Moab, and we killed them all. And none of us got injured or died from the 12,000. That's miracle number 1. Miracle number 2, if there is only 32 little girls from the age of 3, down, you can imagine how many elderly there is. And we only 12,000. We wanted to sanctify the name of Hashem in the front of all the children of people and then to kill those girls. Why? Because the women of Moab and Midian, they caused us all the problem. They caused the problem that 24,000 of our nation died. Say Rabbi Mordechai HaKohen, if Moshe Rabbeinu would have, Chas v'shalom, I'm frightened to say it, a little bit of patience, you will find out, okay, that the 12,000 have a plan to sanctify the name of Hashem in the front of all the children of Israel. And it wasn't necessary for him to get cross and upset and angry. He said, that's what it's come to tell you here. Vayikchof Moshe. Moshe got cross, but you have to understand that Moshe didn't realize what was the plan of those 12,000 soldiers that came from the battle. Let's go to chapter 32. If you see, I'm trying to skip to stick to time. Verse 16, 32:16. Okay, here's it here. And look what it says here. ויקשו אליו ויאמרו, גדרות צאן נבנה למקננו פה, וערים לטפנו.
They approached him and said, pens for the flock shall we build here for our livestock, and cities for our small children.
What's happening here? What's happening? First of all, we have to explain that the tribe of Reuben came to Moshe Rabbeinu. And they tell him, listen, we're going to build here a place to our flock, to all, in that time, the major business was animal. They used to deal with animal. So they're going to build special places for the animal. And only then they're going to build city to their kids. That's Pshat of the Torah. Rashi HaKadosh jumped into it. And he says something extraordinary. Rashi HaKadosh says, if you look what Shevet Reuven and Shevet Gad mentioning first, the flock, and then the kids. He says something very important. He said, from here you learn that the tribe of Reuven, the tribe of Gad, only care about money. They care about prosperity before they care about the education of their kids. He said that if you look at verse 24 a little bit further, just one page or maybe even on the same page, he mentioned here Moshe Rabbeinu, how does he speak to them? Moshe Rabbeinu answered them like this, Vayomer, Bnei Gad u'Bnei Reuven Vayomer, El Moshe לאמור, עבדך יעשו כאשר, no, sorry, I wrote the wrong verse. I wrote 25. It said, Bnu lachem, Moshe Rabbeinu said to the children of Gad and Reuven, you should build for you cities to your kids, and only then look after your flock. And then they say, yes, we'll listen to you. What does it mean? Rabotai, we have to understand something very important. That it's come to teach us here a message. The Torah teaches us here. Torah is a manual. It's come to teach us that before a person worried about his financial, you have to make sure that his kids get Jewish education. It depends where you live. If you want your kids to get Jewish education, you have to live in a place that you can provide them Jewish education. You can't live in a city that you can make fortune to become a millionaire, but your kid's not going to get a Jewish education. He said, that's the message here that Moshe Rabbeinu telling who? Shevet Gad and Shevet Reuven. You have to understand Moshe Rabbeinu. He said, first, worried about the education of your kids, about the Jewish education that your kids will receive. And only then worried about your parnasa. I saw a beautiful thing, and with that I would like to end up a Parashat Matot. The Ktav Sofer was the son of the Hatam Sofer, Rabbi Shmuel Sofer. Rabbi Shmuel Sofer, he born also in, in Germany. He born 210 years ago. And he said like this, listen what he said. Adam shemehavev, a person that loves, okay, and velahut ahar mamon, that he eager after money, and latet imun bidvarav. You cannot trust what he's saying. Why? מכיוון שתאוות הממון תביא אותו לשנות את דברו והבטחתו. That means, he said that the lust for money, okay, can turn a person that loves so much money, that have eager love money, to change his words. He said, from here you learn how much a person has to be careful when it's come to money. Let's go to Parashat Masei. I'm trying to keep it on time, exactly half an hour. We finish Parashat Matot, Parashat Masei. Parashat Masei starts in chapter 33. And look what it says here. אלה מסעי בני ישראל אשר יצאו מארץ מצרים לציב אותם ביד משה ואהרון. בכבוד.
These are the journeys of the children of Israel who went forth from the land of Egypt according to their legions under the hand of Moshe and Aaron.
Here the Torah tells us all the journeys that the children of Israel was in the wilderness for the last 40 years. And we have to understand, why is the Torah again telling us those journeys? We have to understand what's hiding behind. Again, we're starting with Rashi HaKadosh. Rashi HaKadosh explained to us that all of these 42 journeys that the children of Israel done in the wilderness, it's to teach us the mercy and the compassion that HaKadosh Baruch Hu done with the children of Israel during the 40 years in the wilderness. To show the mercy and the compassion and the love to the children of Israel during the 40 years. The Gaon Hida, Rabbi Chaim Yosef David Azolai, he born in Jerusalem 301 years ago. He explained in his book Midbar Kedemot, he said, if you take the acronym of the four first words, Ele, Masei, Bnei Israel. Ele start with Aleph, take Aleph. Masei, Mem. Bnei is Bet. Israel is Yud. What does it come to tell you? He said that here the Torah hinting to us that the children of Israel are going to be in full exile. What are they? Aleph is Edom, and then is Mem is Madai, okay? Bet, where is it? Ken, Bet. Bet is Bavel, and the last one, Yud, is Yavan. That the children of Israel have to be in full exile after the exile of Mitzrayim, and only then the Mashiach. What does mean Edom? Edom is the exile that we are now, okay? Mem is Madai. Madai, it was the exile that the children of Israel was in Persia in a time of Ahasuerus and Haman HaRasha. Bavel, it was after the destruction of the first temple in Babylon, that we've been exiled to Babylon. Yavan, when the Greek, you remember, destroyed the temple, okay, they didn't destroy the temple, but they was try to annihilate the Jewish identity. That's the right word to say. So from here we say the Gaon Hida, that it's come to tell you the first acronym letters of the first words. It's come to teach you about the 4 exiles. You remember we mentioned the Rabbi Vadiela Tzarfati. Rabbi Vadiela Tzarfati, he says something very important. He says here the Torah telling us again the 42 journeys that the children of Israel done in the wilderness. Why? Why you think that the Torah come and tell us? He say that here the Torah come to praise the children of Israel, that they kept and they done exactly what HaKadosh Baruch Hu told them, to go to the wilderness. If you look, a nation that leave Egypt to go to the wilderness, what there is in the wilderness? There is definitely no food. There is definitely no water. There is definitely no medical aid. There is definitely no hospital. But what you can find in the wilderness is wild beasts, snakes, scorpion, and etc. He said it's come to show you how special nation is the Jewish people. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu commanded them to go to the wilderness, they obey. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu commanded them, they gone. They didn't ask question. And that's what it's come to praise. Again, another idea why the Torah tells us those 42 journeys. And now I'm going to go a bit on a mystical level. Rabbi Soliman Ohana lived in the 16th century in Tzfat, okay? And he was a student of Ariya Kadosh, Rabbeinu Ariya Kadosh. He was one of his students. And he explained according to the Zohar HaKadosh. And he says something very interesting. He said that you have to understand something very important. The wilderness, okay, is the main strength of the evil forces is in the wilderness. That means the capital of all the evil forces in the world is in wilderness. Okay? It's until today, by the way. And he explained like this, that the children of Israel needed to go for 40 years in a wilderness to stop in certain journeys, and we will explain what does it mean. That means to cancel the strength, to bring down the strength of the evil forces, in a wilderness, in a Kabbalistic point of view. That means that the idea is to weaken the strength of the evil forces that there is in the world. And that's why they have to go for 40 years in a wilderness, and they have to go through 42 journeys. We'll explain later what's number 42 mean. Rabotai, I would like to give you a segula for Shabbos. When you read Parashat Masei, Rabotai, listen to it carefully, because that's a remedy from the Mekubalim, not for me. The Mekubalim explain that it's a custom to read from the beginning of the journey to the end of the journeys, all the 42 journeys, that from verse 2 to verse 50, verse 2 to 50, without stopping in the middle. What does it mean, stop in the middle? Not to talk in the middle, to focus on a journey. And that's a remedy, okay? Listen to that. Here, it's a remedy. It's gula gdola leshmira. It's a great remedy for protection. From what? From everything. From all the evil forces. Again, I repeat, on Shabbos, when we listen to the Baal Koreh or person read by himself, he must read from chapter 33, verse 2 to verse 50, with no stopping, to focus on every place, every name of the place that they journey. It's very important because he says, Gula Gdola Leshmira, said the Mekubalim. It's a great remedy for protection. And who doesn't need today protection? The Targum Yonatan. Targum Yonatan was Rabbi Yonatan ben Oziel. He was the main student of Hillel HaZaken, of Hillel. And he explained like this, that you have to understand, in all of those names that the Torah mentioned, all of those 42 names that mention, that the journeys that the children of Israel did, there's a great secret. So every name, there's a secret behind it. And that's why the Mekubalim say that it's a remedy for protection. The Ben Ish Hai, Rabbi Yosef Haim, born in Baghdad 191 years ago. And he say like this, he says, sometime a person planning to go, he want to go to a place, and the next thing he found himself in a place that he never even planned to be there. It's happened to all of us. You say, you know why? You have to understand that's from heaven. Because our Kadosh Baruch Hu brought you to this place, even that you never thought that you ever going to go there. You never think. You there, you have a job. Is to rectify spark of the Holy Soul. By that you stop in that place, Rabotai, and saying, O brocha shehakol niya bidvaro, או בורא פרי העץ, או מיני מזונות, or eating a proper meal, and saying המוציא לחם מן הארץ, and then saying birkat hamazon, you actually rectify spark of soul that been lost after Adam HaRishon sinned, eating from the tree of knowledge. And that's the secret of the 42 journeys. Let's go to verse 2. And in verse 2, it says something very interesting. Look what it says. ויכתוב משה את מוצאיהם למסעיהם על פי אדוני, ואלו מסעיהם למוצאיהם.
Moshe wrote their goings forth according to their journeys at the bidding of Hashem. And these were their journeys according to their goings forth.
If you look carefully in this verse, one it say going forward, and then the journeys, and then he say in the end journeys, and then going forward. Why did the Torah tell us one time this way? That means and tell you going forward and then the journeys, and then the Torah said they journeys and going forward. Why? Why is that change? Ask the Mefarshim. First of all, let's explain what it's going forward, what is it their journeys. Going forward is the place that they're starting for, where they're planning to go. Journeys, it's a place that they camp, that's where they're planning to go to. That's the difference between them. Rabotai, the Zohar HaKadosh explained that all of those 42 journeys have a special reason for it. Like we explained. It's number one, to weaken the strength of the evil forces in the world. Especially on those places that it's mentioned, the Torah gonna mention. It said that you have to understand here that in all of those places was holy spark of neshamot, that they've been hijacked by the evil forces after Adam HaRishon sin. And all of those sparks is a spark of the neshama that needed to come to the world. The children of Israel have a job Number one, to rectify them and to rescue them, to rescue those souls. That's the Zohar HaKadosh. But we say that why is the Torah telling us one time where you're starting and then where is you camping, where's your journey, and then it changed? That's the question of the Zera Shimshon, Rabbi Shimshon Chaim Nachmani. He born in Modena in the north of Italy 319 years ago. He said, look what it said at the beginning. ויכתוב משה את מוצאיהם. What it mean מוצאיהם? The beginning of the journey, pshat of the dvarim. So the Mefarshim, look what it said. מוצאיהם מלשון מציאה. He said that look what does it mean מציאה? It's to find out. He said something extraordinary, the great Kabbalistic Rabbi Shimshon Chaim Nachmani. He said at the beginning, when the children of Israel started their journeys, they used to find all of those sparks easily. The sparks of the soul used to wait for them. He said, here we are, you arrive in that place, here we are, just take us out. You don't have to rescue us. Just pick us up and take it with you. We'll explain how they done it. It's not just to pick it up like a person pick up a basket or something. No, Chas v'Shalom, it's not like that. It was easy for them. He said, but look, towards the end of the verse, Moshe said the journeys to the beginning. Why? He says something extraordinary. He said that you have to understand that after the children of Israel sin in the wilderness, after they sin, then they have hard work. Then they have to pick up every soul, to find it, to rescue it. Oh, they have to work very hard. How do they have to do it? Number one, by davening. Number two, by studying Torah with Moshe Rabbeinu. He said at the beginning, when they start their journeys, before they sin, it was easy. All the spark used to wait for them. They used to come to that place. Daven said the bracha, immediately they picked it up. But after they sin in the wilderness, oh, they daven, they have to study Torah, they have to say brachot, and then maybe it took him a long time to rescue that spark of soul. He said, but something else. He said, but with all fairness, it said, look, Motzahem leMasayim at the beginning of the journey to the journey. And then it said, they journey to the beginning of journey. No matter what it was, journey. He said, yes, said the Zera Shimshon. He said, listen, Nahon, that was easy to rescue all of that spark of soul, holy soul. He said, they needed to stop in every journey. They needed to build a camp and then to continue. They couldn't just go to 42 journeys, okay, 6 million people with no stop. He said the Hidush here was to rescue those souls. It was easy before the children of Israel sinned. The problem was that they need still a place to stop, to rest, to give a chance for the baby, to the elderly, to the woman to stop, to rest, even to the man. He said, and that's what it's mentioned at the beginning of the journey to the journey. And the end of the verse, he said, after the children of Israel sinned, oh, it took a long time. Sometimes it took them over a year until they managed to rescue all of those souls, holy souls, from the evil forces. And to me, just I wanted to mention, it's like very similar to what the children of Israel having now, to rescue those holy souls that been kidnapped by the Hamas. That's it also. Rabotai, just for general knowledge, before we continue, in Parashat Masei, there is 42 journeys, we say. Parashat Masei is the 42 Parsha in the Torah. The famous verse, Ana Bekoach. There is 42 words. It's towards the holy name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There is two long names. The one longest name made from 72 letters, and the other one is 42 letters. Shed Mekubalim, that the holy name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu that made from 42 membet, okay? Membet otiot, membet letters, that it's the holy name. It's the name of the character that HaKadosh Baruch Hu reveal himself with mercy and compassion to us. That's how he treats us, with compassion and mercy. And that's why, Rabotai, that I mentioned at the beginning, when you, on Shabbos, listen for the 42 journeys, don't stop in the middle. Don't talk, focus on them, listen to the name of those journeys, because they are, as the Mekubalim say, for general protection, for everything. Is to protect us from all different things that we need in this world. And who doesn't need protection? And that's what's hiding behind number 42. Okay, Rabotai, I'm going to try and accelerate. Let's go to verse 51. I wrote here. 51. Okay, in verse 51. Okay, chapter 33, verse 51. Look what it says. דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם, כי אתם עוברים את הירדן אל ארץ כנען.
Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, when you cross the Jordan to the land of Canaan, you shall drive out all the inhabitants of the land before you, and you shall destroy all their prostration stones. All their molten images shall you destroy, and all their high places shall you demolish.
פשט of the דברים, Moshe Rabbeinu telling the children of Israel, when you coming to the land of Eretz Canaan, okay, you now ready to cross the Jordan Valley. From now on, you by yourself, Akon into the land of Eretz Israel. You have an obligation to annihilate all the Avodah Zarah. Shut of the dvarim. Rabotai said the Gaon Hida that we mentioned, and the Rama Mipano. Who was the Rama Mipano? Rabbi Menachem Azariah Mipano. He born in Bologna 477 years ago in Italy. And he explained like this. He said, if Moshe Rabbeinu will enter the land of Eretz Israel will be like Gan Eden. And not only that, listen to that. Look what he said. That היה מסיר את להט החרב המתהפכת. That means that he will turn the world exactly like the day that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created Adam HaRishon. That people will never die. We will be immortal. It will be Gan Eden and immortal. Okay? But because Moshe Rabbeinu didn't merit to enter Eretz Israel for whatever HaKadosh Baruch Hu have Heshbonot Shamayim, now you have an obligation, he said to them. You have an obligation to destroy any Avodah Zarah. Avodah Zarah, it's not only what we think is Avodah Zarah, not to allow non-Jewish people to live in Eretz Israel. Why? Because by that the living in Eretz Israel is going to be abomination to us. And we see it today. How much tourists we have when we allow them. So Moshe Rabbeinu tells them, use all the precaution that you can. Use everything. Please, when you enter the land of Eretz Israel, use every precaution to make sure that you can inherit the land. Otherwise, it's going to be abomination to you. And we see it. Every day, there's a different attack. If it's a run over, lo alenu, like it was this morning. If it's 7th of October, bombing, killing, stabbing, shooting. Why? Because we didn't listen to what the Torah tells us. We have to annihilate anything that can be abomination to the children of Israel. Why? Because we adopt their culture, we learn from the way that they live, and we're trying to adopt it. We're trying to live together. Kadosh Baruch Hu said, that I'm not allowed. Because once that you're going to do it together, you're going to have a major problem. You're going to be assimilated with it. I don't want assimilation. They're going to be abomination to you. Say Moshe Rabbeinu, please use all the precaution that you can live in peace, in harmony in Eretz Israel. There is only one way to live in Eretz Israel, when you live like a Jew, when you live like a religious Jew, and not just as a Zionist. Zionist is very important, okay? But Zionists have to be with religion. There's many people that have the idea of Zionistic with no religion. Who was that? We know Theodor Herzl. He said that he spoke about Zionist, but he said that all the Jewish people, if you look at his book, have to go, I don't know if I even mention it, to baptize. Haz v'shalom. You understand? So Moshe Rabbeinu here tell us, HaKadosh Baruch Hu tell you, if you're not going to keep my religion, if you're not going to stick to your own religion, it's going to be abomination to you. Rabotai, I would like to end up with something good in chapter 35, verse 25. Here it's speaking about the death of the Kohen Gadol. And it says something very interesting. Look what the Torah tells us. והצילו העדה את הרוצח מיד גואל אדם, והשיבו אותו העדה אל עיר מקלטו, אשר נס שמה. וישב באדמות הכהן הגדול, אשר משך אותו בשמן הקודש.
Right. The assembly shall rescue the killer from the hand of the avenger of the blood, and the assembly shall return him to his city of refuge, where he had fled. He shall dwell in it until the death of the Kohen Gadol, whom one had anointed with the sacred oil.
And what's happening here? The Torah tells us that the person that killed another human being by mistake have to go to a refuge city. When is he allowed to leave the refuge city? Only after the death of the Kohen Gadol. Why? Because then that person that want to take a revenge, okay, not going to take the revenge. All the Mefarshim ask, what do you mean? Because the Kohen Gadol died, is that going to stop the avenger not to take revenge against the person that killed by mistake? Why? I saw a beautiful commentary of Rabbi Yitzhak Dona Barbanel. Rabbi Yitzhak Dona Barbanel, born in Lisbon, in Portugal. He born 588 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And in his commentary, that's called Barbanel, he explained like this. By the way, he was the Minister of Finance of King Alfonso and Queen Isabella. Okay, that was during the Spanish Inquisition. And he explained like this. And he said, why is the Torah tell us after the death of the Kohen Gadol? It's come to tell us something very important. He said the key word is the death of the Kohen Gadol, that been anointed with the holy oil. He said when that avenger gonna see that the Kohen Gadol died, he will realize and he will understand that even the Kohen Gadol died. And he's gonna feel sorry for the death of the Kohen Gadol. And he will understand, and that will help him to understand that there is no use to vengeance, because Aaron used to love shalom ve'odef shalom, נכון? Aaron had a character trait of loving peace and running after peace. That means making peace between man and his fellow friend. He said, by that he'll see that Aaron, a Kohen HaGadol, died, he will get comfort in his heart. It will help him to understand that there is no use to take any more revenge. And that will calm him down, and then the person that killed by mistake can go free with no worries. Why? Because the avenger, by that he heard that the Kohen Gadol died, that's going to soften his heart, and things will penetrate to him to help him not to take revenge. Rabotai, Be'ezrat Hashem, that we should, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will help us to get rid of the desire, that evil inclination of revenge. You know, someone done for me wrong, I will revenge, I keep revenge. Shtuyot, nonsense. We have to understand that we all one nation, we all Jew. We have enough enemy that Dr. Les mentioned at the beginning of the show. All over the world hate us. Anti-Semitism in its peak, all over. We have to be united. We have to love one each other. We have to respect one each other. We don't have to agree with the opinion of one each other. No, that we don't. That we don't have obligation. But we have to respect each other. We have to love each other, to honor each other. That's the most important. And if we keep to that, Rabotai, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will send us Mashiach Tzidkenu speedily nowadays in complete mercy and compassion. Why? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves unity. And one of the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and I repeat it non-stop, is Shalom. Gemara Masechet Shabbat, Yud Amud Bet Batosfot. Gemara Masechet Shabbat 10, folio 2. Look at the Tosfot. If we live in unity and peace together, Rabotai, we don't understand how quickly we can bring the Mashiach. One time, we was in unity. Where? In Mount Sinai. What did we merit to get? The Holy Torah. So can you imagine the power of unity in the Jewish people? So Be'ezrat Hashem, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will see that we're uniting, we're trying to live one with each other with peace and harmony, and we are united, and send us Mashiach Tzidkenu speedily in our day with great mercy and compassion.